What's the deal?
I swear, you're
Bad
so
listeners,
put out
back
this year.
outside. We're at Wyatt's crib. We just witnessed a crazy set, crazy sound system, very dope vibes. So for those who don't know, what's your deal?
My name's Wyatt. Originally from a town, Milan, Michigan, 45 minutes out of the city. Grew up on a farm here in Detroit, doing like metalworking and shit.
Damn.
Yeah, built like this like kind of like Frankenstein sound system, you know, bunch of speakers going in and out of each other, trying to get like big of a sound as I can. And I think it turned out pretty well.
Oh yeah. So I think you were saying you went to Wayne State?
Yeah, I go there now. I'm going into my 4th year. I studied music there for a year and like hated it. So now I'm studying like metalsmithing and blacksmithing and shit like that.
That's sick. So it's like that's something that you're kind of like planning to do like for a living while also working on music?
I don't really know. I have a lot of things I'm really interested in. So usually if I like want to do something, I'll just like go as hard as I can and do it. So I like wanted to do blacksmithing for a long time. So I was like, yeah, I'll give this a try. And it's just a cool skill to have. Like you can get a job as a welder, like pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, I went to CCS and I had to take a welding class, and I would go like a little bit too high, and it was terrifying. So I failed, and then I had to drop it and retake it. But I have hella respect for that craft, and I feel like your music sounds very heavy and industrial in a certain way. So. You know, you're part of Exxitworld.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about that collective, like who's in it, and you know, just a little bit about the crew.
Shit. So it's a ton of people, at least like 12, I think. Jaden hit us up originally. Like I think we had all like worked with him like kind of randomly. And then he was like, I want to like put this big group together. I've tried so many times, like groups like split apart for various reasons. And so he just like threw us all in a group chat. It was like, had this idea, this thing called Exxitworld. You know, let's like hang out, let's make music, let's do shows. And we just like all started hanging out with each other. Like as people would get invited, they'd invite other people. So it just like grew. So there's like a ton of like, some of the like really cool musicians in there now. Recording was here earlier. People like Crying Fossil, Free, Paris from Tokyo. You know, tons of different people. Duncan. Lots of like really cool young musicians. Leo 37. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's cool to make music with people. That's like where the fun is, I think, the most fun.
Yeah, hell yeah. So I feel like it was pretty interesting when you guys pulled up to Paramita, play beats. Like I was there with my 404 full of dusty hip hop beats that I wanted to play to impress the old heads, and then you guys came in and it was just like totally different vibe, like hyperpop, like noise shit, just a totally different flavor. Yeah. So like, do you guys feel like there's other people in the Detroit scene who are doing similar shit, or are you just completely on your own wave?
I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like we're kind of doing something pretty different. I feel like everyone is like so dedicated to what they do and is like really passionate in their own things and like really comfortable with who they are as a person, that we can all be like super fucking unique and be okay with standing out. Like going to a place like Paramita, we all went into it knowing like, okay, we're going to be playing some shit that might mess up like the vibe a little bit. So we have to be respectful, obviously, but it like got received super well. I think people are always like looking for something new or like want to be shown something they haven't seen before. And so I think that's what we're doing. Yeah,
I mean, we were super impressed. Like I feel like your crew just came in and totally set the vibe. Like, you know, you really switched up the whole flavor, the whole tempo, and you know, I mean, you get used to hearing the same old shit. Like hearing something a little bit different is really cool. And I think it's really, it's pretty courageous to go into a space like that and be prepared to do something so different and just like, you know, come whatever, you know, people may say. So I think that says a lot about, you know, what you guys got going on. Do you have any projects or any shows coming up?
I might be playing in Ohio at some point. I don't really know. I'm trying to do a lot of more like solo like guitar noise stuff. I did that at the Blind Pig a few weeks ago, and that's like, I really love doing stuff like that. Projects, I've got this thing that I've been working on for like almost 2 years now. Got like a ton of different people on it, like Connie Miura, Sam Karugu from Duma, recordings on it, El Cree, and it's been sent to a bunch of people. Like David Sardi, the dude that mixed like Salem's first album, has been like helping me with it.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so that'll be like, that's like longer down the road. I'm trying to build like an installation to perform that. So once I have space and the resources to do that, that's gonna happen. Not recording too much right now, but I really like performing. That's like, I like focusing on that for the time being.
Yeah, that's crazy you mentioned Salem, because I feel like I was just talking about like the Tumblr 2014 vibe, and that was like a huge part of that, the whole witch house and all that stuff, and that definitely carries through your music, I feel like.
Yeah.
So how did you sort of get involved in this style of music?
I mean, it's definitely complicated. Like I moved to Detroit, started like slowly producing stuff because I got like Ableton for free from a friend. So I was like making like experimental electronic stuff, and then I was like starting to make beats a little bit. I heard people like mentioning Salem, and I'd listened to like Haunted Mound for a long time. But Salem is like really like the originator of a lot of that stuff. Yeah, and then like I'd been like paying people for beats because I was rapping a little bit, and I realized like, oh, I could just make these myself, and I started to. And you know, once you have the technical skills down, there's really like nothing you can't do. But definitely Salem has been like huge influence for me. They have a really complicated history of like appropriation and like all of this like weird social stuff, but I think the complexity of like who they are as people really comes through in the music, especially like in that like the dawn of like internet music age. They were like the first people to like fully like take a leap off the cliff into like what we like know now as internet music, and I think that's really like raw. So yeah, any way I can like honor what they were doing.
Oh yeah. So you guys, I feel like the whole crew has a very, you know, internet aesthetics inspired thing. Can you kind of speak about how that, you know, factors into it, and where exactly you know, do these communities like meet online?
Yeah. It's interesting. It's different for all of us. Like some people in the group really active on like Discord, make a lot of friends through there. I've never been like super on the internet. Like I'm on like Instagram and stuff like that.
Same.
But like I definitely prefer to connect with people like in person. And so coming to terms with like how much media I consume through the internet has been like a big thing. But it's definitely a powerful tool, like connect with people, share ideas. So I think that is really important. But I think people need to like realize that you're like more than what you like consume on the internet, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, anything else you want to say to the people?
Exxitworld, Freaks and Geeks, Blessed Boys, shout out the 734-517.
Hell yeah.
Pike, Vinny, Cade, Logan, Jackson, Duncan, Jaden, all the people. Love you all. Thank you.
Hell yeah. All right, that's it. Peace.
Bad listener.